the Too Many Hats podcast with your hosts with the most, Tony and Lavelle. Every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock That He. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. Too Many Hats podcast. Top of the morning to you, my good people. Happy Tuesday. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, as Mr. Rogers would say, man. This your host with the most, Tony Mays. Lavelle is running a little late, man, but man, y'all asked me to run it back again today, and we decided we gonna run it back today. We're gonna run it right back today because I guess when you look at making your significant other or trying to help your significant other be happy in a relationship, it's imperative, I guess, that we be able to do so. And I know yesterday that some of you said that happiness comes from within, and so to truly make yourself happy, or to truly be happy, you have to make yourself happy first. And I do agree with that as well. But there are some things that your significant other can do too to help maintain that happiness within the relationship. And so we want to run it back. Y'all asked me to run it back again today, so we're gonna run it back, man, because we want to make sure we honor what y'all want. And so again, what do you do to keep your significant other happy? And is there a line you won't cross when making your significant other happy? So yesterday we kind of really, I think yesterday we kind of got a little off track because we started off in a good place where we talked about the things that truly like respecting your mate and communicating and reciprocating the love and all those things to make your mate happy. And then we got way off track and we started talking about bad materialistic stuff and going to the nice restaurants. And I'm like, I mean, going out and hanging out is a part of making it happy, but I mean, it was solely like for 45, 50 minutes, y'all, we talked about materialistic things like buying stuff and they got to go to the nicest restaurants and all that. And I'm like, how do we go from what truly makes you happy in a relationship to talking only about those things that are materialistic things? And so, again, I wanted to run it back today so we can truly understand how to make our significant other happy, whether it be your spouse or that just be somebody that you've been in a long-term or a serious relationship with. And it's true, if a person does not have that inner happiness or that inner peace, then it's probably going to be really difficult to try to help make them happy if they're not already happy themselves. So I wanted to read a couple of things. It says how to make your significant other happy. And the first thing it says communicate openly. Regularly check in with him or her about their feelings and thoughts. Y'all, that can go a long way. Well, look, we've been talking about the communication piece as long as we've had this podcast for the last year or so. One of the things we always hop on is just great communication, having great communication, listening, attentive listening, active listening, letting your partner get their thoughts out before you respond, but it's like the communication nowadays has gone out the window. It's like communication is an afterthought. And how do you continue to try to be happy in a relationship, any relationship? I don't care if it's a friendship, just a friendship with a friend. But if you don't know how to communicate properly, that's going to be an issue as it relates to maintaining a good, healthy, and happy relationship. And so you got to be able to do that. You know what I mean? So you definitely want to make sure that you communicate openly, regularly check in with him or her about their feelings and thoughts. The next thing we can do is we can show some appreciation. I've been married for 32 years, and sometimes, it can um the marriage, sometimes we sometimes take it for granted. Like we don't we think because we have them and we've been there with them that we don't really have to show appreciation. So one of the things that my wife and I do all the time is like we just show each other how much we appreciate her, and we openly communicate about the appreciation aspect. My wife tells me all the time, I really appreciate all that you do for the family. I really appreciate, and I really appreciate her, being that support system and supporting, and so you have to show that appreciation. You got to express gratitude for the little things that he or she does. It's the little things. I know yesterday um, we had somebody to talk about how it's just the little things, like when her significant other or he decide he's want to cook dinner for them, or he plans something. It's just that little small thing, regardless if he plans for them to walk to the park. Just the idea of him planning something and doing something for her was it was just the little things that did it for her. And so it ain't always got to be something big. Like it don't have to be this grandiose plan that you put together, this elaborate plan that you put together to do something really nice, or for your significant other. But it's just the thought. It should be anyway the thought that counts. And no matter how small, it should be still showed or appreciated. You should show some gratitude and appreciation for it, regardless to whatever it is. And this next one, and this was kind of where we kind of stopped off yesterday, where we just basically talked about um, spending. Well, we didn't really talk about spending quality time together, because it was more so about what the best restaurant he could take me to, she could take me to, or what they can buy me. I like nice things, and so, but spending quality time together, like planning activities that he or she enjoys, whether it's a favorite movie night, a hike, or just trying out a new restaurant. And it ain't always, got to be that expensive. One of the things, because I'm real simple when it comes to like restaurants and stuff like that. So with my wife, she, she generally knows about these little restaurants and different things. And so sometimes she end up going to places that I've never been before, and then she tells me about it, and she be like, "Oh, babe, you really like that place?" Blah, blah, blah. And then now that we're both pescatarian, like we have to look at places that offer things that we eat. So we can't just show up at a place and they don't even have anything that we even actually eat. So we have to look at that as well. Monica says, your partner's feelings, opinions, and thoughts are just as important as yours. Allow them to express before you respond about yourself. Exactly. So, we have to, and that goes back to the communication piece, uh, regularly checking in with him or her about their feelings and thoughts, showing the appreciation. I'm just going back over these, expressing gratitude for the little things he or she does, spending quality time together, playing activities that he or she enjoys, whether it's a favorite movie night, a hike, trying new, whatever it is. Sometimes we get so caught up in our own uh, interest that we fail to capture the interest of our significant other. We always want to do what we want to do, but we never take in consideration what they want to do. And that's something that I've been guilty of in the past. And again, because I said, like, a lot of times I'm simple with it. I don't just really jump out here and do a lot of extra stuff. I just kind of, unless my wife brings it up or somebody, a friend or something, invites us to a event or something, then we put it on our schedule to go. But we have to be intentional about sharing and basically considering the interest of our significant other. And they may be interested in stuff that you totally not interested in. So do you just never do any of those things because you're not interested in it? And it's the same. Like I may be interested in stuff that my wife is not interested in, but should she never want to do those things that I do because she's not interested in them? Nah, I mean there should be. Lavelle talks about this word all the time: compromise. There should be some compromise. Maybe we go to some places you interested in, and then we kind of flip flop between. We go to your place, then we go to my place, and then kind of flip flop back and forth. And I think if we do that, we can start to capture everybody's interest and kind of satisfy everybody in the relationship. Try to make everybody happy. Surprise, man, the element of surprise, and I ain't talking about a bad surprise, but just surprise them, your significant other, from time to time with something. Surprise them. I mean, and that could be a gift or a party or a gathering or something that they was just totally unexpected, that they had no idea that you were planning. But a surprise, sometimes that could be a way of just showing appreciation too. I appreciate you doing this, so I did this for you, whatever. And so like I said, it's the little thing that goes a long way. And so what if your relationship is I mean, you just got an unhappy relationship and you trying to find that happiness again. There was a study done in 2000, I think it was 2002, where it found that 2/3 of unhappy adults who stayed together were happy 5 years later. Like, how is that even possible? If you were unhappy, uh, if you were unhappy 5 years ago and now 5 years later you happy, how does that even happen? So what they found was that those who had gotten divorced, those that were in marriages and had got divorced, were no happier on average than those who stayed together. So you thinking, cause hey, we unhappy, we need to get a divorce. Well, they were no happier than the ones that stayed together. So that don't always work, going to get a divorce. So but how does uh you know how does one be happy after they weren't happy for a number of years? The the Institute for Family Studies says that you know you can tell if a person is happy or unhappy in a relationship. It says to assess the happiness in a relationship, because consider if a person feels supported, respected. Men always talk about this word respect. We like to respect. Consider if you feel supported, respected, if that your needs are being met, and if if you experience open communication. I just talked about the communication piece, shared values, and a sense of trust and intimacy. So if you're not feeling those things in a relationship, good morning, Azon. If you're not experiencing those things in a relationship, chances are there's probably not any happiness going on in your relationship. You're not a very happy person. Marcus said quality time is definitely key. Every now and then, get out, put away the phone, get away from social media, and love on and appreciate the time with each other. Absolutely. Joseph, I just tried to send you. I know you wanted to come on, man, and I don't know if you're available or not, but I'm getting ready to inbox you an invite. And if you want to come on, I'll bring you on. Give me 1 second. Let me shoot that to you. Yeah, I need that. Thank you. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's just a little thing. She heard me in here struggling, and she brought me some water. Just a little thing, y'all. Let's see, y'all. Give me 1 second. Let me send Joseph this invite, and if he can come on, he can come on. I hope and I'm gonna read his comment as well, because he just gave a comment, and I want to make sure I read the comment. All right, Joseph, I just sent it to you through Messenger. But he says, I have an issue. I like to go places here in the city. I feel like danger's everywhere. Yes, shoulder shrug. But my wife does not feel safe going out because of the crime and other factors. I find myself sacrificing a lot to keep her safe, but then I get hit with I'm not a good protector. Whew. So Joseph, have you tried? Because this is what I do. Like I feel the absolute same way in terms of the city, because the city can be. It depends on where you're going. Can be. Good morning, Mayor. Can be pretty dangerous in certain places, and it depends on the events you want to go to. So, what we found out was, first of all, when you go down to Mississippi, they don't play like that down there. So, and since we're right here, Memphis is right here on the Mississippi. We're right on the Mississippi state line. We tend to, like, for eating and stuff like that, we tend to go down to Mississippi. Now, in terms of other events, we go to trusted events from people that we know are going to have, like the other night we were invited to an all black affair at a venue where we know it ain't gonna be no junk, and the people that's gonna be there gonna be straight. So I know when the venue Memphis was open in Whitehaven, it was always a really safe place to go and have a really good time with live music and all that stuff. So we did that a lot, and then there are a couple of other places. But so you have to find places that you know are safe, that would be enjoyable for you and your wife. Good morning, Pops. You have to find places that are enjoyable, because you can't just sit in the house and never go anywhere. But the movies, are pretty safe, for the most part. So you can find some of those places to go. Monica says she misses the vineyard. Yeah. But and then, like, Greg still hosts different events and stuff in different places. And you can better believe if he's gonna host an event, it's gonna be at a place that's gonna be safe. Now, I don't do a lot of the other nightclubs, the Loves and all that. Not to say that they're not safe. I'm just saying I don't do all those other nightclubs. I don't do really nightclubs. But if it's a 40 and up spot, I'm generally probably will go at least try it once, and we generally come out okay. So you do have to find a balance. We talked about that compromise, Joseph. So you have to find that compromise. What can we do that both of us could be happy and going out and doing something, and not just sitting at the house all day looking crazy, because you can't just have game night. And sometimes sitting at the house can be cool, because you could do we'll do game night, or we'll do certain things that we do. to kind of look, y'all. I'm telling y'all, she own it. She own it, doggone it. She bringing me hauls and everything. So what do you do? I mean, you can't just stay at the house. So let me run back to those things again. Because if you don't do these things, you gonna be in trouble, right? Like you gonna be in trouble. Communicate openly. Regularly check in with him or her about her feelings, about their feelings and thoughts. Show appreciation. Express gratitude for the little things he or she does. Spend quality time together. Spend quality time together. Spend quality time together. I'm gonna say it one more time for the people in the back. Spend quality time together. Whether that playing activities that he or she enjoys, whether it's a favorite place, movie night, hike, trying something new, a new restaurant, whatever, and then try to throw a surprise in there every now and then, or just she get off work, you already got her dress laid out where you finna take her somewhere, and she, well, what's this? Oh, I got something planned for you, just a surprise, nothing that they even thought about. You hadn't communicated with him about, but just a surprise, or him, he come home, you got his clothes laid out. What's this? Don't worry about it. I got some place I'm taking you, man. And y'all go out and have a good time. So there are some safe places to go and do some things in Memphis. You just have to seek those places out. So and I do understand because and I'm gonna put this comment back up because I think it's I know you're not the only person that feels like this, Joseph. He said, I have an issue. I like to go places here in the city. I feel like danger's everywhere. Shoulder shrug. But my wife does not feel safe going out because of the crime and other factors. I find myself sacrificing a lot to keep her safe or happy, or both. But then I get hit with I'm not a good protector. So what do y'all think about that one? What do you think about that one? And I know Joseph ain't lying about this because I've ran across a lot of people that live here that feel the same way. I can't go nowhere. So one of the reasons that I don't even go to Beale Street anymore or downtown, for that fact, because it seems like unless I'm going to the Grizzly game now, if I'm going to the Grizzly game, because generally we got the parking right there, police, you going to the game, I leave the game, I'm out of the downtown area. I don't hang around after the Grizzly game and go down on Beale Street. It seems like every time, when we were going to Beale Street, it was a fight that broke out. It was something, and I'm like, no, I don't want to be the person that catches the stray because I'm just down in an area trying to have a good time and some other nut down there acting crazy. Yeah, Joseph, I guess you couldn't come on. I sent you the invite through Facebook Messenger if you wanted to come on the show. Yeah, true. The compromise is important, but I feel slighted on my end. I feel like where is the sacrifice? Sorry for the long delay. I'm driving. Okay. Oh, he driving. That's why he can't come on. I got it. um, have you had that conversation? That's a conversation that you should be having, saying, "Hey, babe, I feel a little slighted. Like I'm doing this and I'm trying, but you got to openly communicate how you feel." We just talked about communicating your feelings and making sure that you know your spouse or your mate or your partner or significant other understands how you feel. If I'm as a man, yeah, I send it in Messenger. It's in Messenger. If I can't if I can't express as a man, if I can't express to you how I feel, and you listen to me, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. No man wants to try to express himself, but this is why, you know, Lavelle and I talked about this for years, how men, in particular me and him, like we used to shut down, like if we couldn't, like if we felt like we was trying to get a point out or whatever, and you know you don't want to hear what we got to say, then we just shut down altogether. And when a man, that's one thing you don't want, is a man shutting down on you altogether. Or hell, a woman for that point. If a woman shut down on you altogether, it's over. But for a man, if a man shut down on you, that don't necessarily mean it's over in most cases. It just means that we just ain't gonna share with you no more. We just, hey, it is what it is. We'll deal with it for the most part. But women, if they shut down on you, it's over. Go on, find you somebody else, because it's over. When they stop caring, they don't give a damn no more. It's over. It's over. So can't lie. See, this is what I'm talking about. Azon said, can't lie. I shut down. I just be tired of certain stuff. And that's what we can't do, Azon. I used to feel the same way. But I'm like, nah, you're gonna hear me out. You know, because what I have to say is just as important as what you have to say. And whatever I want to talk about is just as important as what you want to talk about. So I no longer shut down. I no longer shut down in that respect. I try to communicate whatever is going on with me and how I feel, you know, at least to the best of my ability. So you want to be able to try to communicate good morning to your brother instead of shutting down. Again, you know, Lavelle and I talked about that often, how we used to shut down. We were the king of shut down. we wouldn't just, you know, just keep it moving. So you can't shut down. You got to be able to talk about it and talk through it.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, you know, what does shutting down actually do? If you're shutting down in a relationship, what does shutting down actually do for the relationship?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. If anything, it's going to cause more strain in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Monica says, this is a simple example, but Tony sometimes watch shows on TV that I absolutely hate. But because I love to be near him, I thug through the shows. Some compromise is important, even when it's the little stuff. And that's the same with me. She watch shows that I absolutely don't like, but I sit there and watch them because she watching them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a confession to make. Oh boy. Yeah, pray for me. Dawn loves Lifetime movies, especially during
Right.
Christmas time.
Boy.
I absolutely hate those shows, but however, I'm gonna be completely transparent and honest. Sometimes I find myself. Sometimes I find myself literally sitting there with her watching. She be like, uh, yeah, you like it, don't you? I be like, nope. But anyway, yeah. How about asking them, Monica?
Monica Ingram says, morning, attentive listening and not selective hearing is everything. Yep.
There she go, dropping them bombs. She come in the gate, swinging.
Joseph says, sometimes men expressing themselves leads to sometimes a bigger issue. And you are correct. Shutdown mode comes up for real, for real. So I'll just wait on the right time to express my thoughts and feelings, hoping to eliminate the anger. That ain't right.
Yeah.
That's not right. So if you're telling me that as a man, you can't express or share how you feel, Now, there's a way to share and express how you feel. So we do need to evaluate how we come out when we're trying to express on both sides. Because sometimes as men, we can be very abrupt. We can be very, instead of trying to share how we feel in a way that, a trans. Oh boy, it ain't difficult, but it ain't, but it is. Because some men's transparency and vulnerability when they're trying to express themselves tend to come off as nowadays as what they call it, you being sassy. Oh, you whining as a man. No. Come on, man. It ain't got nothing to do with you being sassy. It ain't got nothing to do with you being whiny. I got feelings, just like you got feelings.
Yeah.
I should be able to express how I feel in a manner that's that received by you, and you say, "Hey, let me understand. I hear you correctly. You're saying that sometimes when you do such and such or whatever, and I don't pay attention, that bothers you, and so I just want to make. And so, what you want from me is for me to really sit and listen to what you feel or what's going on with you, and and we don't do that, y'all. We don't take the. I know I sound like a damn therapist, but that's the way we got to approach the situation. She said, "These are my confessions, LaVelle." Yeah, he like them. LaVelle, Azon said, "No, you can't in these days." Yes, you can. And that's what I just said, Azon. You looked at like a pluck or a lame, or you sassy, or that's first of all, that's a small mindset. That's a really, really small mindset. If you're dealing with somebody that's like that, you might want to reevaluate that relationship. If you're in a relationship like that, you may want to reevaluate that relationship. Because if I got to continue to shut down because you won't listen to me, or I can't express it, or when I express, I'm lame, I'm plucked, or I'm sounding like a little girl, I'm in the wrong relationship. I have to shut down. That's a step away from leaving the whole relationship. Bro, you putting yourself through pure hell. I'm telling you, I've been there. I absolutely positively been there, and that's pure D hell, bro. Men should be allowed, Monica says, men should be allowed to express how they feel. And then after expressions are made, both must make adjustments as needed. Yes. That's from a woman been married 32 years. It ain't like easy. It's not easy. We say it all the time, man. Relationships take work.
Absolutely.
Relationships, like, you can't just hop in a relationship and think it's gonna be all willy-nilly and all perfect. No, it takes work. And it takes work from everybody that's in the relationship. You got to work at it. Azon said, "No, I'm just stating how dating goes these days." Yeah, not for everybody, but I do understand that dating culture that's going on. I do understand what you're saying about it, because I've heard too many social media shows where women are saying, and it's mostly younger women, if the man, he have time around, he complaining about something. It's not. Why it's got to be complaining? But it ain't complaining when you do it. It's you expressing yourself when you do it, but when he do it, it's complaining. Monica Ingram says, when a man opens up and expresses themselves, he's trusting more. So don't tear him down if you're in it for the right reason. There you go. There go another woman. But it's mostly I have seen where a few older women just, I don't know what's me. I want a man, and she want the man that's gonna shut up and just go through life. Who gonna do that? That's over. Just shut up and walk through life. No, ain't nobody doing that no more. But when a man expresses himself, why it's got to be sassy? Why he got to be, a woods? Why he got to be? That's why men shut down. And when we share with you, our deepest, or when we're just transparent in a way with you, where we're sharing, and then you take those things and turn around and throw it back up in our face the first time we get in a little argument, a little petty argument, you throw those things back in our face. Guess what? We ain't never sharing again. Oh, you talking about a shutdown. We ain't never sharing again. So you can truly, you can be happy in a relationship. Communicate openly. Regular check in with him or her about their feelings and thoughts.
Yep.
Show appreciation. Express gratitude for the little things he or she does. Spend quality time together. Plan activities that he or she enjoys, whether it's a favorite movie night, whatever, a hike, a walk in the park, a new restaurant, a new venue, whatever. And try to surprise him or her.
Mm-hmm.
Try to throw it out. And I do believe that in some relationships, if the relationships are if people are feeling unhappy in relationships, I do believe that some of them can be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
If you start to do some of these things.
Right.
Look. What's the hair club for men commercial? I'm not just a founder, but I'm a client. I ain't just talking about this because I want to be talking about this, but I've experienced this in my marriage. Monica has experienced this in our marriage, where there were periods of time in our marriage that we were both unhappy. And one of the reasons because we wasn't clearly communicating with each other. And we really weren't, first of all, we weren't happy ourselves. So hell, we couldn't make each other happy. And it wasn't until we really start openly communicating about how we feel and us trying to hear each other out, and not it got to be an argument every time about something. She says, I love my man's and my man's love me. And because of the love we have for each other, we are willing to do what it takes. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. That's what I'm talking about. It's sacrifice and what's that other word? Compromise. The veil always use. Monica Ingram says, if you see red flags off top and no room for growth, leave. Even at my age, there's always room for growth. Yeah. But you got to be willing. You got to be willing. You got to be a willing participant. You got to be a willing participant in the whole thing. If you're not, you just sitting back taking space. Sitting back taking space if you're not a willing participant. But you can, just because you're feeling unhappy in your relationship doesn't necessarily mean it's time to break up, separate, divorce. In most cases, you can fix the issues with some kind of therapy, regular check-ins, just like I just talked about, or just doing some of those things that I talked about. Communicate, show appreciation, spend quality time. Some things that y'all haven't been doing. And if you're in a relationship and you're trying to figure out, you don't really truly know if you're happy or not, you need to consider these things. Am I supported? Do I feel supported? Do I feel respected? And are my needs being met? Am I receiving? Are we openly communicating with each other? Do we have shared values? Is there a sense of trust and intimacy in our relationship? And if you questioning all of those things, maybe you're just not that happy in a relationship. Joseph said, "True. I enjoy my marriage because I get a chance to learn and love someone." Hallelujah. That's what I'm talking about. Monica says, "The focus has to be on your own happiness as well as the happiness of your partner. You are important too. Don't lose sight of that in the process." Absolutely. Y'all dropping some gems today, some nuggets. Yep. So, man, y'all wanted part 2, man. Specifically, Joseph wanted part 2. And I wanted to give it to y'all, man. I wanted to make sure that we understood. And I think today we kind of captured more of the essence of it as opposed to yesterday, where it was just like happiness was dependent on what material item or what materialistic thing was being provided or done. And to me, that doesn't necessarily show. I mean, that's maybe a part of the happiness, but it's truly not. It shouldn't be the focus.
Right.
Monica Ingram says, "I ain't got time to train you. I ain't got time to babysit you. Bring yourself in and let's love and live."
Right
there. Now y'all gotta understand, Monica Ingram is our age, well, my age, a little older, and so our patience is a little different. Like than you young folk, you 20, 30, 40-year-olds, our patience may be a little different because we don't, if you 50 and you still acting like you 20, yeah, you got to go back to the drawing board. Ready says, "Thank y'all. I'm getting help from this." Man, that's what it's all about, bro. I'm hoping we helping.
Yep.
Good morning, Ralph. Good morning. Yeah, I'm hoping that all of you guys are being helped, and whether you're responding, commenting, or not, maybe just taking this in and listening, because even if you're not married and you're in a serious relationship, happiness applies all the way around in relationships, period, whether it's a friendship. Lavelle and I have a friendship, and his happiness is just important to me as my happiness. If he ain't happy, if he's sad, then I'm sad. Lavelle got a lot going on this morning.
Yeah, I'm babysitting. he ain't never been up in his room. I'm just trying to make sure he don't be biting on nothing.
Joseph Jones says, "Monica, I need to just do that. I need to do the things that make me happy, but what to do when the things that make me happy upsets her?" Why would it upset her? Why? So that's the question. So we asking the wrong things. Why would something that makes you happy upset her unless what makes you happy is something that's immoral, unethical, illegal? You see what I'm saying? But if it does not cross any boundaries, now if you sitting up in there, if and I ain't saying this is you, Joseph, but if you sitting up in there watching porn and your wife hates porn, but that makes you happy, well, you might need to just not watch porn when she around. I'm just saying. So we got to ask the question, like, what is it? Why is it? What makes her so upset about the things that makes you happy? Have you asked her that question? Ralph says, I do shit that she struggles with: laundry, dishes, dinner. Okay. Okay. That's a compromise
Yeah.
because it ain't her. See, Ralph, you understand. You've been around long enough to understand that, you know, there are some things that she can do that it you know, I ain't got a clue. And she good at it. I'm gonna let that be her thing, and I ain't gonna cross that line. But I understand there are some things that maybe she wasn't taught as a young lady. She may have not been taught to cook or do the laundry or wash properly. And I see my mother raised, it was 2 girls and 3 boys. And my mother always taught us that the boys, because the girls were in the kitchen learning how to cook and do these things, right? And my mama said, no, y'all coming in here gonna learn too, because you might not have a woman, you might not have somebody, all you need to learn how to do these things for yourself anyway. So she made us even take home economics so we could learn how to cook. So I can sew a button on my shirt, I can hem my pants, I can do all that. I can sew up a hole in my pants, I can sew up a hole in my shirt, because those are the things that I learned. So if Monka don't know these things and I do, I ain't gonna down her or get on her because she don't. I'm just gonna take up the slack. And that's
how
where it
it's
should be. I'm gonna fill in the gap.
You're supposed to be a helpmeet. Helpmeet means someone that's fit and suitable for your situation. We know a lot of times when they help meet, it's helpmate. I mean, helpmate, they help meet, supposed to be help meet.
Joseph says her happiness is very important to me, so I'll adjust to make sure she's happy. Yeah, but your happiness is just important, Joseph. This is what I'm saying. Your happiness is just important as her happiness. Mm-hmm. And if what you do, the things that make you happy, upsets her, why does it upset her? Mm-hmm. I don't. That's the part I'm not getting. I'm not getting the part that she's upset with the things that make you happy. Mm-hmm. Mark May said, life is too short to be anything less than happy. I absolutely trust Tony. So I trust that he will make the decisions that are good for both of us in all things, even with the simple things. Yeah. Tanya Wilson says, happiness comes from within. Your significant other is an add-on or a plus. Yeah. You got to have some happiness. I'm telling you, if you don't, if you're a miserable person, you're gonna bring a miserable attitude to the relationship. Ralph said, because of my allergies, I got a chance to be observant in the house. Yeah.
So let me ask y'all this. And I know they say happiness is being happy is an inside job. You got to make sure you're happy yourself. But why would you be in a relationship with someone and you all can't make each other happy? I know we use that, but it's kind of what you're alluding to, Tony, because I think a lot of times the reason why we don't make each other happy, be better individuals, because like we said earlier, there's no compromise, there's no communication, and we number one, we hold things in, we shut down. Number two, and I always remember this, we forget to be friends. I don't care how long y'all been with each other. I don't care how long y'all been married. If the friendship leaves, sometimes being the husband and the wife don't even matter. Y'all got to be the best of friends. Y'all got to be able to talk about anything, and it's hard a lot of times. Take it for somebody who knows. But I should be able to make my significant other happy at some point in life.
Yeah. I think when we talk about that internal happiness, I think that's just a place of being happy with yourself and who you are as a person, right? Mm-hmm. That external happiness that your partner or mate brings is that place that makes you feel comfortable, that makes you feel safe, makes you just feel secure, that makes you, feel like, hey, I can enjoy your company in your relationship. I can do things that makes me happy, and you're happy because I'm happy. Right. See, it's It's a win-win, bro.
Right.
But if I'm already miserable coming to the relationship, because, and we always say misery, talk about misery loves company. If I'm miserable already, I'm just not a happy person. I'm always angry, just always upset about every little thing. Nothing seems to ever, and I come into a relationship, then I project all that on my mate. Guess what? That person ain't gonna be happy, bro. Cause they're like, damn, I got this miserable, everything is always an issue, everything is always a problem. There's no happiness there. But you can truly find happiness, bro. You can. Marcus says, if you're truly happy, it shows. You both are glowing. Monk May says, your personal happiness is important. You cannot make someone else happy if you yourself are miserable. I have been there. I worked on me, and now Tony is the happiest man alive.
Wow.
Almost.
Oh.
Almost, babe. Almost. I'm happy. I'm good. Don't do too much, babe. Monica Ingram says it's difficult at times because I'm on the defensive, and sometimes, and he reminds me I'm on your side. Ooh, y'all saying some good stuff, boy. Y'all talking, boy. Y'all talking. Y'all talking today. So even if you listen to what Marcus is saying, even if you fall off the deep end, but you gather yourself quickly, or significant other reminds you, look, I ain't the enemy. I'm on your side in this. I'm here with you. Sometimes we will, man. We'll stray. We'll falter a little bit. But as that significant other partner in the relationship, or husband, spouse, whatever, wife, it's okay to say, hey, babe, I ain't the enemy here. I'm with you. We good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good stuff, bro. That's good. Y'all helping me, bro. Come on, Joseph. Joseph said, I see her happy. Then I'm happy. And Tony, one thing that seems to be a trigger is family. I grew up in a big family. I understand the fact I have my own family and I must build my family, but certain family members are a trigger.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
are you saying that certain of your family members are a trigger for her? Because if so, what this may be is this could be a case of where she has family members that have done something to her in the past, and when those particular family members of yours come around, it sets off a trigger in her. That's very possible. But that's a situation like that. That's where, to be honest with you, that's where therapy and counseling comes in at, because you can't help fix them triggers. That's something she has to get help for. Yeah. See, yeah, that's a therapy issue, bro. That's something she needs to get therapy for. She needs to go count, and you could say, suggest maybe y'all go counseling together, and you could talk about some of those things, and you could talk about those triggers in that counseling session. You can say, hey, well, these are some things, like I noticed that when I have a big family, when my family comes around, and certain individuals, that it triggers her. And then the therapist can say, well, why does that trigger you? Because that person reminds me of my uncle. My uncle did. Oh, well, we need to be addressing that situation. You see what I'm saying? So we have to make sure that sometimes therapy is necessary. Vanessa McFarland says we have to love yourself before you can love others. Absolutely. Joseph said yes. Absolutely. Look, man, Queen woke up late this morning and was not able to clock the T for us. So we don't have that clock the T, but y'all clocking the T already. Y'all clocking. I'm glad we had a part 2 of this session because this really feels like what we should have been talking about yesterday. This really feels like what we should have been talking about yesterday. So we have to, when you say so keep going, you got to give me a little bit more rap. I don't know if you tell me keep going with this or I don't really know. Thank you, Joseph. Joseph said, I love this platform, gentlemen. Thank y'all so much. Now I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate you on the topic. Oh, yeah. We're gonna continue through the next 5 minutes. We're gonna continue with it. Shout out to Monica Mays for this topic again, man. Monica, my wife is behind the scenes, y'all, all day long. Since she retired, all she do is sit back and send me topics, potential topics all day long. Yeah, and they be really good topics. Tanya Wilson said, internal happiness will not allow anyone to put a damper on your parade. It allow you to see good in others. It allow you to put a game so both can survive until that moment of correction come along and you see the truth. Your peace has been disrupted or you was blinded by what happiness you wanted. Monica said executive producer. Okay, executive producer. She the executive producer. Azon said, I have to go back and watch. My manager came in to talk to me, LOL. These people at work tripping me out. Vanessa McFarland said, your wife is a beautiful person. Thank you, Vanessa. I think so too. Monica said, I need a backdrop. You gonna have a backdrop at that table selling that merch.
Honestly, it wouldn't be no 2 million hats without y'all. Honestly, y'all the one who make the 2 million.
I'm finna do something, y'all. Come on, Lavelle, share your thoughts while I cue up this video. Share your thoughts, man, about this whole topic. I know you've been busy with Dallas.
Yeah, he got me tired.
I know you've been busy with Dallas, but I'm gonna share this video.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna share it if I can find it.
Okay. I mean, I'm glad we had a part 2. I mean, it just, if you work on what you're supposed to work on, and this is the thing about what we're talking about working on. It's not a one-stop shop. This is a continual thing. It's a renewal process. It's like every day you got to be working on something, trying to make something better. Some days it's gonna be better than others, some days it's gonna be worse than others. But it's just a part of it. That's what makes life sweet. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take the bitter with the sweet. That is.
Right.
You shouldn't have been tearing everything up.
He mad. He mad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Don't around the room.
if it'll let me attach this video or not, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see what it do. We're gonna see if it let me do it. Can I send you a time? Yes, by all means. Inbox me or text me. You can text me, Ralph. Text it to me. Martha said, bring Dallas to see his TT. Martha said, definitely a process, but trust the process. You definitely have to trust the process.
Yep.
You definitely have to trust the process for sure.
You thought it was a soundboard. No, that's our new addition to our family, Mr. Dallas.
Who said that?
Azon. Yeah, lay down. There you go. Yep.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
It's the 2 men in hats, tumblers, 20-ounce tumblers, the coffee mugs. So they got the handle on them. T-shirts. The hats.
Check them hats out.
Color hats.
Oh, them hats.
Got some solid colors. Blue, green, gray.
And that's just one row of hats. Y'all had 3 rows of hats. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. We got gear, baby. Because we gearing up. What we gearing up for? We gearing up for the 2 Men in Hats meet and greet podcast networking event, April the 5th, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Man, you got to be in the place. If you don't be in this place, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. Hey man, shout out to Mary. I can't think of Mary last name, man. Mary. I've had a couple people just send us donations, just to the show, man. They're saying we appreciate what y'all doing, man. Here go $50, man. Here go $25. So I appreciate that, man. The people that are doing that, man, because what y'all don't know, a lot of y'all do know, and I think a lot of people are seeing the work that we do, even in the community with the Easter egg hunt, the stuff we try to do for the family, the homeless tent drive, stuff that we're doing. We ain't taking any funds, putting it in our pocket, and most of the time, me and Lavelle are spending funds.
Yep.
We spending money. So, it's not like we putting this money in our pocket. We're taking this and using it for the betterment. And we're using our platform to be able to reach people to do this. So we appreciate any donations, anything that y'all can give and send. We appreciate it, man. Okay, cool, Joseph. But we definitely really appreciate that.
You mixing me nowadays, bro. Don't be acting like that, bro. No, I'm just playing.
He said he have a Mason meeting that day, so he gonna still get a ticket, and that's cool. And so, man, look, we want y'all to show up, man. It's gonna be we're gonna have the single panel in the building. And when I tell y'all, me and Lavelle excited about this, man. What that say? Let's get wild. The single panel gonna have these. Y'all remember these?
Yep, I so haven't got about them, Just.
Y'all remember these? Let's get wild. The single panel gonna have these, man. And every time they want to answer a question, they hold this up, and we don't know what their answer gonna be. But if it's anything like the first time, we had a ball. Let's get wild. Yeah. So,
hey man, we still owe the viewers and the listeners. I don't know how we're gonna make it happen. But me, you, and Monica ain't done. They still ain't did the show. We've been saying it.
We're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done. So y'all make sure, man, y'all tune in for that event. 12, 5. April the 5th from 2 to 4. It's gonna be epic. Lavelle gonna have them whole readers on deck. We're gonna have them mimosas on deck. It's gonna be epic. So Lavelle, get your thoughts, man, and close it out with a prayer, bro. We had a good show, man. I appreciate all y'all tuning in today.
Yeah, forgive me for my tardiness as well. People things happen. People things happen. Can I say it? Can you get my tongue to go? Yeah. But great show, man. We got some new people coming on the show. That's coming in, being interactive and saying things. That's a beautiful thing. So I've added some new people in the group as well, and looking forward to it. And yeah, let's go. Let's talk about it. Right now, we're gonna pray about it. Let us pray. Most gracious eternal God, our Father, Lord God, we thank you for waking us up this morning, giving us reasonable portion of health and strength, clothing us in our right mind, Lord God. Thank you for family. Thank you for loved ones, Lord God. Thank you for marriages. Continue to touch marriage and relationships to be the relationship that you will have them to be. Let them be friends with one another and love each other and be best friends and hold hands and love on each other, Lord God. Lord God, we thank you for Tony and his family and my family and Queen family and every family that's assembled. Continue to touch our efforts and everything that we do. And we actually do this in your darling son, Jesus' name. Somebody shout, amen.
Amen. Man, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Same bat time.
Same bad place.
2 Men in Hats. Let's talk about it.
The 2 Minute Hats podcast with your host with the most, Tony and Lavelle. Every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock That He. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. 2 Minute Hats podcast.